Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. Yes, the late night debate. Before we get into the show tonight, it's not normally as late as this. Normally I'm earlier, but if you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It does help the channel up the search, so please do give it a like. That'd be fantastic. If you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come be part of this great community we got here. Also, hitting that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. Just do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in chat by clicking the $ as well. So yes, folks, hope you all had a great day today. And as I say, to do one at this time night is different. But then hopefully I'm reaching out to other places like Down Under. Because normally when we do earlier shows, it's normally like very early morning for them. So hopefully they're seeing this show as well. Right, let's get into the chat first of all and see who's in the chat. Yes, an evening, Tony. Good evening, my mate. I hope you're well. Reed says, Andrew, yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine. Ian says, evening, Tony. Good evening to you, Ian. I hope you're well, mate. Lee says, evening, Tony, and all. How you all keeping? Yeah, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all well, says Mad Mag. Yeah, absolutely terrific, mate. Thank you very much. Gary says, hi, everyone. Hi to you, Gary. Hope you're well. Yes, I was just getting sorted out, mate. Sorry. But we're here now. We're here and we are live. Evening, everyone, says Jack. Good evening to you, Jack. Hope you're well. People saying hello to each other. Make the perfect. Cheers, Gary. Thank you. Absolutely, mate. Better late than never. Good evening, everyone, says Julie. Good evening to you, Julie. Hope you're well too. Billy says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Billy. Hope you're well, mate. Nice to see you on. Jamstasher, hi, everyone. Hi to you. Hope you're well. Paul says, good evening, Tony. Good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well. Very good evening, Tony, says Paul Gallant. Good evening to you, Paul. Hope you're very well indeed as well. Yeah, so the feature, obviously, tonight's show is like the late night debate. So we'll have a few topics and you can all have your say in the chat. And we'll have a discussion about different things. All things obviously Newcastle United, from either the manager to players, things like that. We'll have a good debate, see what everybody's got to say, and we'll go from there. Paul says, evening, Tony and everyone. Good evening to you, Paul Gardner. I hope you're well as well, mate. Right. Obviously, before I get on to anything, I just want to quickly say, yes, a lot of you know that I've been going on the American Magpie. I've now stepped back from that channel. I think a lot of people probably know why. But obviously Chris did apologise, but still it wasn't the best when when you get sort of when they say things live on air and they haven't even told you first, which was disappointing. I've explained this to Chris. I think he's realised his mistake. But we move on. But I've got my channel and my channel comes first anyway. So anyway, that's all I want to say on that matter. Another thing I do want to say as well is I was delighted yesterday that I was on John Sinclair's channel. Things are moved from John, and it's great to be reunited with him again. And so coming back to this channel will be the dynamic duo. So before things happened, me and John used to do a show on here called The Dynamic Duo. A lot of you might know that. And so that show is going to return, and that'll be on a weekly basis. So there'll be that once a week where me and John will be on. So that's coming back. That's coming back. So anybody who enjoyed that beforehand, that show will definitely be back. And it's great to be reunited with John again. So Jam Stasha says, I thought it was going to be a debate about... No, it's not. Certainly not, mate. No, not at all, mate. Not at all. Seen talk crap with Cabbage Head. What a load of crap. Bruce was talking more so. Do you know what? Yeah, we can have a discussion about that as well. I mean, look, absolutely ridiculous what he's been coming out with. Louis Van Aal, good evening from Amsterdam. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Love this channel, says Pete Jasmine. Thank you very much. Thanks for your support, guys. I didn't know anything had happened. Tony, seen you on last night. Yeah, there was something happened, and to do with some certain people. I'm not going to mention names, but to do with some certain people. But thankfully, it's all sorted now, and it's back to normal. It's back to like old times it was with John and myself. Because look, I used to be a co-host for John, and that's what got me into being on my own channel, because being a co-host with him. Then I had looked after his channel for a week, and then I had people asking me to have my own channel. That's how I started my own channel up. And look, John's a great friend at the end of the day, and so glad all that's sorted out now. No idea. I mean, looking forward to the live stream tonight. Lovely jazz, mate. Cockeyed Cyclops is how do from South Lake, Jody. Jazz, mate. Thank you very much indeed. And Mad Max's eye, same here. Hope no one's fallen that way. No, not at all. No, not at all. Haven't fell out with Chris, but I did tell him I was disappointed with the way things happened, because he hadn't informed me. You see, there was supposed to be that show on Sunday, the Mag's on 5, and then and then I looked and I thought, well, the show's changed, and I asked him about it, and then nothing, and then I saw his show come on live with his panel, and that's when he said, oh, look, this is the new panel now. And he says, but I would be on probably 3 times a week. And I thought, well, hang on a minute. You've not explained nothing to me, And in some ways, I felt a bit humiliated by that. So, but he's misread the situation, and he said it was his fault, and he should have spoken to me first. But it's all fine now. But it's great that me and John are back as well. Evening, Tony. Hope you're well. Good evening to you, Paul. Hope you're well, mate. Ian Toon Trader. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. Sorry, Tony. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine. If we sell Longstaff food we bring in the summer, that we'll get onto that one as well. Great to see you back with John Soundblow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Okay. So, look. First thing is, we're going to talk about this man on screen now. There he is, Eddie Howe. Now then, there's a lot been going on in recent weeks. Now, the big question is he under pressure? Well then, results haven't been great of late. The Chelsea game wasn't great, was it? Let's be honest. The Wolves game prior to that, great win. And we thought, yeah, okay, we're back. But against Chelsea, it wasn't that great. City, it was like a training session for City. Even at 2-0 down, we should have gone for it against City, I would have thought. Even if we'd lost 4 or 5-0, it wouldn't have bothered me, because at least, you would have seen us going for it, but the fact we didn't, which was a bit of a disappointment, let's be honest. But look, what I will say is any football manager is under pressure. So it doesn't matter if it's Eddie Howe, even Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid, he's under pressure because he's probably under pressure to win the Champions League this season, you know? So it doesn't matter where you're a manager, you're under pressure, you know? Even if you're a manager in non-league, you're under pressure to get your club promoted. So, yes, every manager has a different kind of pressure. And pressure comes, it's all part of the job at the end of the day. And that's the difference. Now then, you see it with a lot of people. That, when people are having their opinions about Eddie Howe on Twitter, some people are coming down on them saying, oh, you can't say this. Eddie's been great. He's done this. He's done that. Yes, he has done this. He has done that for us. When we were struggling when he came in, when the takeover happened, he kept us up and didn't just keep us up, but he kept us up well and truly. So, yes, he did do well there. Got us to fourth last season. Did we overachieve? Maybe we did. Probably, yes, we did overachieve last season. But, maybe because Liverpool weren't at the races last year. Chelsea were definitely not at the races last year. But also, if you look back as well at last season, there was a 6-week break because we had the World Cup in Qatar. So we had a 6-week break where we had no Premier League football. So that gave us a nice rest. This season, we've had Champions League. We beat PSG at St James's Park, which was fantastic, 4-1 win. We drew at Milan 0-0 the first game. We lost to Dortmund twice, and we lost to Milan in the last game. Now, in the last game, should we, against Milan, have just played for that draw? Because, if you're not going to win it, don't lose it. And we would have still been in the European competition. But as it happened, we got beaten. We ended up going out the Champions League altogether. But look, it's been a difficult season for Eddie Howe. Let's be honest, it has been. And we can't deny it hasn't been a difficult season for him because he's had a lot of injuries to deal with. We know that. But what we are seeing at the moment is we're seeing a manager who looks a bit lost at the moment, if I'm honest. If you look at him on the touchline, when the cameras pan on him, he looks as if he's not got much idea of what to do. He made subs the other night, which, look, against Man City, I thought Dan Burnett left wing back. I didn't think that would work for me. He's not a left wing back for a starters. But when he made that quadruple substitutions and he brought on Lewis Hall and Almiron actually looked quite decent down the left together, and they actually worked quite well. So I want to see Lewis Hall more. But obviously, we didn't really go for that game after. Like I say, when we went 2-0 down, we should have just had a go and went for it. And if we did get beat, well and truly, it doesn't really matter. But I've looked at Eddie Howe's body language for the past, month and a half, and things don't look right. And recently, it looks like there's more and more pressure on him. So we don't know. Is there pressure coming from above? Maybe not from Amanda and Jamie, but maybe from PIF side. Is there a demand that they want us to finish in European place? And this is heaping pressure on Eddie Howe, And, pressure can affect anybody. Let's be honest, it can affect anybody. So is there pressure on Eddie Howe? I believe there is. Do I want Eddie Howe to turn it around? Of course I do. I want nothing more than Eddie Howe to turn this around, get us in a European place. Then in the summer, let's have a spend, let's have a bit of a clear out and say to Eddie Howe, right, okay, get some players in. Don't play your favourites because playing your favourites is going to land you in trouble. And maybe relying on these favourites too much has maybe got with in a bit of this mess. Because remember, we're playing Longstaff, who is injured, technically, and having to have injections every game. We've got young Lewis Miley there. Yes, I know we don't want to burn him out, but Anderson's back now. You could have put Anderson on against Man City on Saturday and rested Longstaff. Give Anderson an hour, give Miley half an hour. Wouldn't have hurt. Plus, it would have given Anderson some valuable minutes and playing time. But no, we'll play with the injured player instead. Which in some ways is unfair on Longstaff because it's making Longstaff look like a passenger in the team. And it means we're playing basically with 10 men on the pitch rather than playing with 11 men on the pitch. So we're sort of carrying somebody around. Now, will Eddie have the time to turn us around? We'll have to wait and see. That's the thing. The thing is, we know he's got the support from Amanda. We know he has the support from the Rubens. But it's PIF. Nobody knows if he's got the support from them or not. You know? And we know Saudis don't like to be... They like to be very successful, the Saudis. They don't like second best. So, you know... If they did want to change the manager, what I would say is, if you're going to do that, you keep Eddie till the end of the season, see where we go at the end of the season, and then have a decision what you want to do, if they want to make a change or not. I mean, as I've said before, I want to see him succeed and bring trophies, but I'm looking at the moment and he's looking rather lost at the minute. And, you know, okay, yes, you can see he hasn't got Tyndall with him on the sidelines because he's not allowed to stand in the box with them, like that new rule that came out this season, which I think was to stop him doing that. But yeah, look, what's your thoughts? Get your thoughts in the chat and we'll go through some comments. But look, is Eddie under the pressure? You know, and what's your thoughts for the long term? Do you think Eddie will be here till the end of the season and be gone? Will he be here next season? If he does start next season, no doubt the pressure will be on. If anything goes wrong in them first 10 games, we don't get off to a good start, could that be the end of Eddie Howe? That's the thing. We don't know what's going on. You know, there's lots of managers being banded about as well, but being linked with, you know, the Mourinho story. We know that's not gone away because obviously he was in Saudi. But look, anybody can be anybody at these events in Saudi, you know. Ronaldo was there, you know. So does that mean because if Yasser Al-Rumayyan's bumped into Ronaldo, we're going to sign him next week? No. So, but you've got Mourinho who was there speaking to the chairman. We know we've been linked with Mancini, the Saudi Arabian manager, because he's working for Saudi Arabia national team. Also, today has come out that the German manager is ready to return to management, Hansi Flick, the ex-Bayern Munich manager. Would he be going to Barcelona or will the Premier League be his destination? So, again, there's managers there. So, you know, but get your thoughts in the chat. I'm going to nip through some comments first of all, and we'll see what people are saying anyway. Gary says, let's start positive. The club are doing things behind the scenes we have no idea about in prep for next season. This current attitude of gloom is short-sighted. Next season will be great. Do you know what? Absolutely, mate. I hope so as well. Matt says, morning, Tony and chat. Good morning, Matt. I hope you're well, mate. Ian says, great news that you and Mo John are pals again, as you're both great lads. Cheers, Ian. Do you know what? Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And it's just like old times again. It's like John's back, and it's back. It's brilliant. People saying hello to each other there. I'm free to jump on if you want, Tony lad. Oh, lovely, nice one. Give me 5 minutes in here and I'll get you on, mate. Gary says, Eddie's under no pressure from the board. Not happy clapping. Just being realistic. It's been tough. But it's all to get put right. Do you know what? I absolutely agree, Gary. I mean, look, there'll be some sort of pressure there because, like I've said, every manager has pressure. Every manager has pressure. Like I say, Ancelotti at Real Madrid's probably under pressure not only to win La Liga but to win the Champions League with the team he's got. Um, we've seen it with the PSG owner. They've done it where their manager, if they don't do well in the Champions League, they get knocked. They're sacked and another manager rolls in. Obviously, thankfully, we're not that sort of club now. But every manager has different pressures. We know that. And the thing is, at the end of the day, football's a results game. Billy the Fish says, Hall and Miley did more in 10 minutes than Byrne and Longstaff did in the whole time. They were on the pitch. I'm sorry, but Byrne at wing back was ridiculous. Yeah, I see where you come from on that. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And we're going to talk about them as well. Just thumbs up. Billy says, yes, he's made some mistakes, but I've mellowed. I'm happy to see him try and rectify what's happened with a good run. If we end the season poorly, then I expect he'll be gone in the summer. That's what I'm tend to think as well, Billy. I'm not sure I feel, at the end of the day, the thing is, if he goes in the summer, if he has a poor run and he's gone in the summer, then look, we have to back the owners and we have to say to the owners, okay, we've got to respect their decision at the end of the day. As much as we might not like the idea of him going, but at the same time, but yeah, absolutely. Everybody's saying hi to each other there. Subs should have got on the field first half. Let's all get behind Eddie. It's difficult at this time with the injuries we've had. We could do with fresh players on the pitch, leave some of the players out. Yeah, absolutely. Get Billy on as well. You can see Eddie's feeling the pressure of expectation, his own standards as well. Absolutely. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, exactly. Toon Trader, you were brilliant last night. I was in tears with laughter. You made that show, says Paul. Billy's in his pit. How Kraft wasn't in that team as criminal. Yeah, because we had no Livramento at the weekend. He had an ankle injury. He twisted his ankle from the Chelsea game. Enjoyed having you say. Yeah, where do you want to send the link to, mate? Because I'm going to have to try and get to send you. I'll try and send you this link, Ian. If you bear with me, or if you can tell me where I can send you the link, mate. If you did. As just was one of those mistakes. The biggest one for me was surrendering to Chelsea by taking Bruno off when we could have got back into it and left an injection full shown on. That's the thing, Billy. It's criminal. I mean, why is he? Why are we playing somebody and putting? At the end of the day, you can keep pumping injections into somebody, but it's not going to help them in the long run. You could end up ruining the lad's career, and that's the thing. That's what's criminal about it. And it's like I said the other day. It's like having toothache, and you can pump as many pills as you want, to numb the pain, but it's never going to get easier or go away. So you're going to have it sorted out eventually, and then it could end up getting worse. So, and that's the same with Sean Longstaff with his injury. Keep pumping them with injections. It's only going to dull the pain, but it's going to make them even worse. Depends on how West Ham game goes. Yeah, absolutely. Alan says, evening, Tony. Good evening, Alan. Hope you're well. Social media sounds from some of the owners who previously posted is frequently thought for thought. I mean, look, the thing is, Billy, I suppose they don't want to probably be on social media too much. And look, I've seen a lot going around saying that PIF are no longer interested. They've lost interest because, like they don't seem to be there anymore, and they don't seem to be coming out and making statements, things like that. But if you go back to that Amazon documentary, and that's that's the thing. You go back to that Amazon documentary. Yasser actually says in that documentary, that's why he's got all these people in place. So it's not just him making decisions; they can make the decisions and run the day to day at the club, because obviously he's not only chairman of us, but he's also chairman of PIF, and they've got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, so they've got a lot to do, and so he's a very busy man. So he's trusting Amanda, Jamie, Darren Eales, and the rest of them to run the club. That's why he's got all these people in place. It's not that there's not a lack of interest from the Saudis whatsoever. It's called How to Run a Football Club Properly, which is something our previous owner did not know what to do. I think Piff will give him a few games next season, start to see how he gets on. It could well do, Ian. He could well do, absolutely, mate. Cockeyed Cyclops and behind Eddie Holloway. We all know how hamstrung he's been. However, we don't know what has been going on behind the scenes in regards to who can play and when they can play. Yeah, that's another one. We don't know what's happened in the background. But again, we just have to wait and see what happens on that one. But you're right, he has been hamstrung with injuries. Daniela says, hi Tony, I think if you finish outside the European places, I can see your owners go with the new manager. I mean, Daniela's a West Ham fan. You've had 2 goals disallowed at the weekend there. Well, we're not so sure what's happening at the end of the season, but yeah, you could be right if it may happen, Daniela. It may do. Piff, we already know, have a short list if we get a new director of football. Yeah, look, they've got a company involved, a recruitment company looking for a director of football. We know Paul Mitchell's keen on the job, and we know Tiago Pinta's interested as well. So look, there's interest in that job, and it's going to be a sought after job. Because who would want to be director of football? Well, if you call Dan Ashworth, he doesn't want to be at Newcastle, does he? He's thinking of the bright lights at Man United. What I'll do, Ian, I'll just stick the link in the chat there, mate, and then you can come on that way, Ian. So there you go, Ian. It's in the chat now for you. Andrews, I think it's a dead cert. Jose is coming in. Not necessarily, mate. But you never know. Well, Jose was seen with Yasser at the Grand Prix. Yes, he was. Absolutely was. Wasn't he just? Could anything or nothing? Yeah, could be. I hate the term happy clapper. However, I would rather be a happy clapper than a grim reaper. Absolutely. Definitely. Andrews, I put in my pit as well. Hammy's on the fire. We have AG10 versus Bruno and Paqueta to look forward to the weekend. Yeah, that's going to be some game, isn't it? You know what? I just hope it doesn't happen. I hope Anthony Gordon pulls out with tackle. If he's got to go into a tackle with Bruno, I hope he just pulls out of it, because the last thing we want is Anthony Gordon clattering Bruno and then Bruno's out for the bloody season. That would just be our luck, wouldn't it? Look what happened at Ferguson. Man U, 2 seasons, just surviving. I just see Eddie give another season. A good window. Still think he will get better. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've put it in there for you, mate. Hall played great when they put him on. Yes, he did. I thought he played quite well, and I thought, well, hang on. Why is he not coming on and playing? Jake says, we have to give Eddie a good shot to see how he does next season, then make a judgment. Yeah, absolutely. As regards to performances, it has to be seen still that only half the squad are truly match fit. Eddie Howe seems damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Absolutely, Gary. That's the thing, and like I say, what you got to remember this season is you can't have Tyndall beside him at the, and them two make a great team when they're together in that technical area. And, I just thought it was a stupid rule, and I just think it was done deliberately so they hampered us and stopped us. from having that, having that communication with them two. It means then Eddie's got to leave that technical area and let Jason Tyndall go in there, vice versa, or Eddie's got to go back to the bench and talk to Jason Tyndall, have a little conflab, and then go back out it. And I think it's a stupid rule. Anyway, he has Ian. There he is. Hi, mate. How are you?
I'm good as gold, mate. Can you hear me okay, yeah?
I can hear you absolutely fine, mate.
Good lad. Excellent. I
I
just thought
mean,
I'd jump on. I think that's really good news that you and John are pals again, because you know how good a mate John is of mine as well. And
yeah,
shit like that, it's not with it's something to nothing. We're all adults, aren't we? Get it all sorted. I think that's great news. Best news I've heard all week. And I've seen that Big John's just jumped in the chat as well.
he has he? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And I'm not as drunk as I was last night.
You're not, are you not?
No, I was mortal last night, like.
Oh, were you?
on Steve Rafe's fans forum. Everyone was.
Oh, I heard about that actually. I think it was Andrew told me actually.
Steve came on. He'd been out all afternoon. I'd had a few. There's a few. I just watched the first 10 minutes of it back before, and I was like, blah, blah. I couldn't string a sentence together. I felt completely sober at the time myself, but then when I look back at it, I thought, fuck, you weren't right there. So yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd jump on, mate, just to say hello.
Yeah.
Andrew GB says, put a poll up of who wants John on. I want John on.
Do you want to come on, John?
It's on, John.
Come on, John. He comes on. It's Billy talking to Gary. Says the biggest one for him was surrendering Chelsea by taking Bruno off when we could have got back into it and left an injection full shown on.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that Chelsea game was shocking, wasn't it, Ian? Really?
Yeah, I went down as well.
Taken, weren't they?
Yeah, I went down for that. Like, yeah, do you know what it is? Like, other people have disagreed with us. Like, I went down. I didn't take Tommy down. I went down, and my mate, one of my best friends from when I was a kid, she lives down. Like, she lives like literally just a couple of miles away from the stadium. So I went down and sort of seen her and stayed with her and took her to the match and like that. Even though obviously we played shite, she was just like, she's never seen anything like it before. She was like, I cannot believe that grown men act like you. which I thought was, I went, well, fucking believe it. There's about 4,000 of us here all acting like little divvies, like, and it was a bit. What I liked about it was we were shy. We gave, well, I didn't like that, but I mean, what I liked about it was we were shy, but the fan base stayed with the players. The players at the end were obviously demoralised, completely gutted. And we've seen, I've just seen Via Vikings comment there. Ian's done more shows than Sticky Vicky. I'm better at ping pong than her. No, like the fans stayed with the players. The players were completely demoralised at the end of the game. They had their heads down and that.
Yeah.
And we just went fucking mental, like absolutely wild in the stands. The Chelsea Prawn Butty Brigade didn't know what was happening. They were shy, by the way. They're an embarrassment. People go on about our atmosphere not being that great. Fucking hell, I've been away a lot this season, and I'll tell you now, even when our atmosphere is at 50% and not great, it's still better than 99% of the places I've been this season. But yeah, it was disappointing. But we gifted them 3 goals. We've gifted every goal that I think's been scored against us in recent matches has come from mistakes.
Yeah.
And people might disagree with me, but what can Eddie Howe do about individuals making mistakes? I think it boils down to our defence having a lack of confidence in Dubravka, however well or badly or whatever anyone thinks about him. He's a good shot stopper, but apart from that, he's got nothing for me. He and he's nowhere near Pope's level. We're playing players who are injured. Botman is a shadow of his former self. He isn't fit. He's not fit. We've got Sean Longstaff. He couldn't kick his own arse at the moment. He's fucking useless. Again, he's playing injured. But then people quite rightly say, like Billy Trey says, when I watch him on Toon Review, he says, "Well, why is he playing him?"
Yeah,
and it's hard. It's a hard one to answer.
Yeah, somebody's just sneaked into the green room here, and let's bring him on. Oh, it's my mate. It's my mate, and I'm pleased he's back.
Big John
I've missed
Sinclair.
him on the channel. It is. There he is.
Yes, there he is.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Big up, Tony. Welcome. Good to have us back on, my guy. And Ian, do you know what?
Yeah.
You're a legend, an absolute ledge. You look in good shape.
Fucking ages, mate.
I know, it's been a while, hasn't it, man? It's been a while, and I'm thinking, you know what? It's good to see you guys again. Tony, it's great to see you again as well. Yeah, it's been a long time. Do you know what I mean? And the chat, in people in the chat, thank you so much. Share the love. Share the love. Share love.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been round trying to find you as well. Me and Tommy have been looking for you, like at home games and that. We've been down, to the burger van for the dog burgers and that. And I'm looking round. I'm like, there's no John there. There's no. I've seen PD a few times. No, where we all used to meet up before the game. Nobody's there anymore. And I think we need to. He has the body of a god. Unfortunately, he's put a fuck off, be a Viking, you prick. Been at the gym, man. Been at the gym, beer.
Gym beer. Wow.
I mean, Beer's got a comment here. He says, Dubravka's a big one for me. Can't play the sweeper-keeper role. It hurts the system. I mean, when Karius played that one game against Arsenal, yes, he conceded 4 goals, John. But
yeah,
I thought he commanded his box more than Dubravka did. And especially when he come running out and cleared that ball as well. He was just disappointed his defence let him down that day. But would you have liked to seen Karius give him more game time than Dubravka, or are you happy with Dubravka at the moment?
For me, I mean, I thought I watched Karius at Arsenal. I think he did all right. I mean, I think he's been badly let down by the defence. The defence was shocking that night. I can't even lie. But the thing about this, Tony, right? I mean, you have to go with Dubravka now because you know what? I mean, he's done all right. But I think you got to give Karius a go. Do you know what I mean? See what he does the next 10 games or so, because we can still qualify for Europe. We can qualify for Europe, but for me, I think Eddie's going to keep Dubravka. I would just like to see Karius given a run of games. But we all know he's going at the end of the season. He's going to go off to Italy. I think he's going to go straight on to Dubravka sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, the goals conceded on Saturday wasn't his fault. Badly let down by his defence. Botman, what were you doing? Right, standing there, right? I watched the back. I'm defending Tony as disgrace, absolute disgrace. The whole on back 5. You're going to play back 5. Please don't play Danville on left wing back. He's a centre back. I've never known a centre back plays left wing back. It doesn't make sense. Why didn't Lewis Hall? And I told you yesterday. Why didn't Lewis Hall start the game? Why did he start? What has he done wrong? Not to want to start. I like Lewis Hall. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd take him back. But Lewis Hall should be getting games now. He should be getting games. Marley should be starting. Elliot Anderson should be starting. Drop people like Dan Burn. Drop Miggy. Drop Sean. Ed's got to be ruthless. He's got to be ruthless. And if he's not ruthless, and I said this yesterday, the owner's going to be ruthless on him. I do not want Eddie to be sacked. But if he's not going to be ruthless, then I think there ought to be ruthless on him as well. I want him to succeed. I want Eddie to succeed. Will he succeed here? He's got to drop his mates.
Yeah, absolutely, John. He's got to start dropping his favourites and playing players who are on form. The Lewis Hall thing, is this down to Dan Ashworth because Eddie Howe probably didn't want him? We don't know. But we have also heard rumours that Lewis Hall has had some issues behind the scenes where he's been turning up to training late, things like that. His attitude hasn't been right, apparently. You don't know what to believe, and that's the thing. You don't know what to believe. It's all rumours at the end of the day. But you're right. Why hasn't he played more? That's the thing. And now Matt Targett's fit. Even so, why didn't he even say, right, okay, I'll play Matt Targett for an hour on Saturday and then play Lewis Hall? Because Matt Targett could play that wing back role. But, not Burn. When he set up with that team on Saturday, I was trying to work out what the formation was because I was thinking, this looks all over the place, I mean, fair enough, Jacob Murphy, right wing back, yes, he could probably play that role. That's not a problem for him. But certainly not Dan Burn. That was just like a square peg in a round hole, basically.
Fact. Fact.
So, yeah, I was kind of confused with that team, if I'm honest. And then when I saw Longstaff in there again, I just thought, why? The guy's injured. Why are you playing him? If he continues playing Sean Longstaff and he gets a further injury with that foot, that could end his career. And, and then Eddie Howe's got to take responsibility for that, for playing him every game. Because, as I've said, John, you can keep giving him injections to numb the pain, but it's never going to make the injury go away. It's still going to be, whether he's going to have surgery or not, we don't know. But whatever it is, he's still got that pain there. As I said the other day, it's like having toothache. You can take paracetamol for it. You can take any sort of medicines for it to dull the pain. But, and if you keep doing that, eventually it's just going to get worse and worse. And you're going to have to go and see a dentist to get it sorted out.
Do you know what it is too? Go on.
But that's what he's doing with Longstaff, isn't he?
Exactly. I mean, I totally agree with everything you say, right? I mean, Elliot Anderson, what's he done not to get in the get games? Lewis Manley, what has he done wrong not to get in the first team now? Do you know what I mean? That's two central midfielders right there. Yet, he goes and picks Sean Longstaff. Again, every single time. I mean, Sean Longstaff, right, scored twice against Luton. Woo! Yeah, scored twice against Luton, yeah? Let's be real. And then everyone say that he's the best mid. Sean Longstaff is back, he's back. It's gone back to the old Sean Longstaff. Simple as that. Big up, Billy, my guy. Big up to you, man. Good to see you, but I love Billy the bits, by the way. Do you know what I mean? And you know what it is, right? I mean, this is going back to what Eddie's picking his favourites. Yet, again, he won't change. And I love Eddie. He won't change. That's the problem, Tony. And everyone knows this, right? He's got to realise, you know what? Give him a rest. Give the lad a rest. Because you've got 2 home games coming up, right? You've got West Ham and Everton. And Tony, we better get 6 points from those games. He's got to find a way. Because I tell you now, right? I heard people saying on social media, if we lose to West Ham and don't get out against Everton, I heard people say it's going to be in big trouble, but I'm not sure what to say. But I really want Eddie to succeed. I really do. But
yeah,
it's going to be a big, and I did my clip on my YouTube, on my vlog. It's got to be a big clear out. Because I do not want to see Matt Ritchie sign a new deal. I don't want to see Dan Burn starting. I don't want to see Longstaff starting. I don't want to see Miggy starting. I don't want to see Jacob Murphy in a way, right? If he moves on, I wish him all the best. But I want to see fresh blood in that team in the summer. Because we might not qualify for Europe, right? And then we've got a clear run trying to go for top 4 next season. Then you got Tonali back, Joe Linton back, Bruno if he stays, yeah?
Yeah.
But we need to start well next season.
Yeah, definitely, John. I mean, I've got Daniela here in the chat. She's a West Ham fan. She's one of my regulars on here as well.
Big up, Danielle. Big up, Danielle.
She said, yes, our game with you will be tough. I'm not going to call it, but I think the game management, the Champions League, that shot Eddie in the foot this season.
Do you know what it is,
what do you
Daniel?
think about that, John?
It's going to be a tough game. West Ham, you don't know what West Ham's going to turn up yet. I mean, they've got some good players there. You got Jarrod Bowen, Paquetá, yeah? You got some cracking players there. Souček as well. From set pieces, he's still decent, yeah? I'll not diss this guy, yeah? And the one I love at West Ham at the minute is Kudus. That guy is absolutely fantastic. 36 million quid. That is a bargain. I love the way he runs. He plays on the right-hand side. He can dribble. He's got a lovely left foot as well. He scored some cracking goals. The one against Freiburg is just unbelievable, man. But I tell you what, if he plays on the right and Dan Burns play, oh, God. Do you know what? I'll be off for that game on Saturday. Eddie, find a way. Play Lewis Hall. Yeah?
10 games left. 10 games
left. Yeah.
We win all 10.
Win all 10. We've got a mad run. Because, Ian, we've got 2 home games, plus Fulham away. We are got to get 7 points minimum out of those games.
I'm telling you now, like, we can. We've got the... We've. You remember what happened last time we had the warm weather training? We went away, you know. I think that's what we missed, actually, because we decided not to do that, if you remember, the last time we had an international break. And we didn't do that. Every time we've gone away for that it galvanizes the team for me. The major thing that we have above other teams, certainly last season, was that we had that team ethic, fighting for each other. You know, without fight, without you know what, you know, without battle people. We seem to have lost that a little bit, and I think that this. The warm weather training for the international break, I think this could be just a turning point. And you know what it is? If reality is at the start of the season, I said I think 7th or 8th was what I predicted because I could see what was going to happen. You know, gold. No, fucking Billy Goat's gruff. No, I think this could be the point where we if you look across all the teams in our mini league now, you know, for those 6th, 7th, 8th position, then we've got the easiest running. Now, we haven't made these games look easy. That's the problem. We've struggled in games. But I still say that we've got enough. We've got enough to get into a European competition. We might not do, but you know, when you look at the statistics of how many injuries, how many days we've lost of players and key players as well, you know, it's been a massive kick in the bollocks. Eddie wasn't back in January, you know, whatever the reason was, FFP or another reason. Whether it was the Dan Ashworth breakdown, I think there was definitely some issue there. Like, I think when Dan Ashworth failed to get Maddison, who was nailed on, who came out and said he wanted to come, I think that was Eddie was going to change our system. I know nothing, but he's a number 10. I think we would have gone 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
That's what I think he was planning on doing. And when he didn't get that home, I think at that point, Eddie Howe lost confidence in him. And whether Man United come in or not for him, it was going to be one or the other. You know, for me, Dan Ashworth has done, I think, some quite good work behind the scenes. He's brought in some decent young players. But that's 3 or 4 or 5 years' time. You know, if they come around, if they keep progressing. What Eddie Howe needed was backing then. We needed a striker. We needed a defensive midfielder. we needed another centre back. We needed a left back if he's not going to play Hall. But then, you know, I do agree with what other people are saying. You look at the likes of like Hall came on. Them substitutes changed that game against City. Hall came on. His first touch was like prime bloody Maldini. You know, like he was that like it was unbelievable. And I just went.
It's like it's like he's proven to Eddie, like, come on, you're not playing me, but I'm going to prove you wrong why you should be playing me. And that's exactly what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to prove the manager wrong. As I've always said, if you get that shirt, you've got to stay in that shirt. And the only way you can stay in that shirt is by pulling performance after performance after performance out. And if you're not performing, then you should be out the team. Simple as, you know. I mean, Daniela goes on to say, she says, what's yours and everyone's feeling about Bruno transfer rumours? He's been connected to City. I mean,
load of bollocks.
Today we saw links with him and Isak for PSG now, apparently. I can't see him going back to France, in all honesty, even if it is PSG.
The only place he's going to go is Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree, guy. Because I'll tell you what, I would not send to another English club. There's no way. Absolutely no chance. He's got a good
I can't see him. He's already come out anyway, hadn't he, and said he wouldn't want to move to another English club.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was reported. Like, listen, we don't have a fucking clue. We don't know what's going to happen. But we've got to remember, Pep's not going to be at City in a season and a half's time. Pep's contract's up at the end of next season, I'm sure.
Thanks, Lee.
And I can't see Pep staying there. You know, and you know if City ever actually do get put under the sword for their 115 or whatever it is charges of financial unfair play, you know, he's not going to want to stay around, is he? So I think there's going to be some major changes, and I could not see Bruno. Bruno loves the tune. If he's leaving, he's leaving for a massive club. And it isn't going to be in this country. It's certainly not going to be Man United. When there's people saying he's going to sign for Man United.
Nah, certainly wouldn't be for them. They may be in trouble anyway, Ian, because HMRC are now chasing them for some unpaid taxes, so that could hit their FFP. So, you know, they could be in some bit of trouble. But, I mean, talking about the Forest points deduction. But before I go to that, Andrew says, oi, Tony, I think it's best the lads have a break now, rethink, go again for us to qualify for Europe. I think we could finish 8th, says Archer. Okay. 8th could even get European, couldn't it? So
I think 8th will.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be 5 Champions League places. So I can't, I think so. Honestly, I still think 7th or 8th. If you look at the running we've got, if we've got a bit of a break now. We've got players going to be coming back, and I hate being Viking. Got players. I know we keep getting more injuries, but we've got players coming back all the time. And I definitely think that when you look at it, you know, get a bit of that camaraderie back, get the intensity back, and go into this last 10 games. You know, it's a quarter of the season that's left. It's over a quarter of the season left.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like people are thinking, oh, it's all over now. It's not. You know. So I think we've still got plenty of time to drag ourselves back in. So.
I mean, the West Ham game, you put down there, it's a 6-pointer. It is a 6-pointer, without a doubt. Can we beat them? Of course we can. If we play like we normally play, you know, if we play to the best that we can play, then yes, we could probably play them off the park and win the game. But we can't be complacent against them. That's the thing. As John rightly pointed out, they've got some decent players, West Ham, and they have. I mean, look, you know, the fans wanted Moyes out, and he won the European trophy last year, albeit the Conference League. Now, if we ended up in the Conference League, I wouldn't be against that because that's a competition we could go out there and win. Villa are smashed it already this season. So, yeah, I mean, look, and West Ham are doing well in Europe, and they're also doing well in the Premier League. Moyes has done well for West Ham. But yeah, we can beat West Ham as long as we, you know, as long as he plays the right players. And that is the thing. He's got to put the right starting lineup in. If he goes with the wrong starting lineup, then, you know, it could be carnage, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it could be.
I thought he was brave going with the 3 at the back, or as it was 5 at the back. I just thought he played the wrong players. If he'd have played Hall from the start, Longy shouldn't be on that pitch. He's not fit. I've said it for months and months and months on loads of different platforms. You know, he's not fit. But it's Eddie trusts him, you know. But I think he's got a real big decision to make with Hall now, because Hall's come on and changed that game. You know, yeah, all right. What he lacks in defensive ability, he fucking makes up for it going forward, doesn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, for the next game, I mean, Longstaff has to be dropped. So does Dan Burn in some ways. Dan Burn is better at a centre back than he is a left back. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Ian, this season we've seen it many a time. We've seen it with Elanga at Forest, twice with Elanga. We've seen it with Ogbenny. You know, anybody who's got a pacey winger in that team, they're putting them on Dan Burn. Now, we can all see it's hitting Dan Burn hard, and he's being skinned every game. There's a pacey winger there. But we can see it. But why can't Eddie see it, Ian?
I think he can see it. I think he is focusing on Dan Burn's defensive qualities, so that I think he loves the fact that Dan Burn will drop back in, get that 3 at the back. When we play a 4 at the back, he'll drop back in and we'll have a 3 at the back, and we can get enough more. We can push trips forward, or Tino or whoever. And I do see where he's coming from with it. People need to remember as well, for every time he gets skinned, defensively, he saves the goal. You know, Some of the blocks and tackles and headers that he's made, Lewis Hall wouldn't have made them. But for me, we are not going to win games by being defensive. We need to now think, right, fuck it, we're going for it now. And he needs to like just think, right, do you know what it is? If we lose trying to win, then we've fallen on our sword.
Facts. And
the worst thing about it is, let's not lose trying to not lose. Let's not lose trying to not lose. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is, right, so to come 2 things. First of all, Billy sent a comment, said, I think John may be back to YouTube as corner from now on. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. I try to work out what he meant.
I think he's being nice.
Yeah.
Billy Trey's top lad.
He is. I love Billy. And secondly, right, you just mentioned about defence, guys, right? I mean, our defence against Man City was woeful. People's going to say, like, yeah, it's the best team in the world. Yes, they are the best team in the world, but we defended poorly. Yeah? Mm-hmm. I watched it back. City could have been 6-up. The back had to make a couple of fine saves. I mean, not only that, I mean, our defence looked confused. Who was picking who? Again, the midfield are not getting close to the defence again. That is the thing. There's a big gap there, a massive gap. And in the second half, I mean, Ireland went on a mazy run, right? What were the defence doing, Tony? What was the heck they were doing? I don't get it. I really don't. And if that's how we're going to defend, we'll lose games.
Yeah.
But I agree with Ian. If you're going to lose, but try to win the game, we accept that. but 2 shots on target the whole of the game. That is unacceptable. And when you look at teams like Coventry, fought, show fight, and won the game. Man U, show fight against Liverpool, could have gone out. They won the game, right? What did we do? We turned up, and I think we just forced on the occasion. They just forced on the occasion. I mean, if Isak scored that goal at half time, it would have been a different game. But I still think he would have won that game. That's all I'm saying. But we were miles away. And another thing is, guys, right? Telephone right, yeah? 4 goals against Arsenal, 4 against Tottenham, 4 against Liverpool, right? 2 against City, 3 against Chelsea, right? 4 against Luton at home, 3 against Forest, right? At home. And we couldn't beat Luton Forest at home. I tell you something now, right? I think it's our defence is a problem. We just cannot defend properly. And we want to win games. You got to defend properly. You have to have.
Well, you look at the statistics since Nick Pope's been injured. We've gone from the second best defence in the Premier League to the worst defence.
Yeah.
And it's not down to Dubravka as such. It's down to our centre back pairing do not trust Dubravka. So it's not just down to him.
It's the
they are not performing.
Exactly. Totally agree.
We've gone from having a Rolls Royce of a defender to having a Robin Reliant. And then that's partially because, and I love him as much as anybody, but he's obviously not. He's injured. I think he should have had an operation. If Eddie had been backed and we'd have bought another centre back, he probably would have had an operation. I think a lot of this comes down to Dan Ashworth. A lot of this boils down to him signing fucking players for 30-odd million pounds that are for the future. Well, we don't need fucking players for the future right now. We do, for 3 or 4 million, 6 or 7 million. But we need players who can come in and actually come into the first team. And
that's what we need, Ian. That's what we need. So it's going to come in now.
Like Eddie might have made a mistake with Hall not putting him in, because I do think he has, to be honest.
Yeah.
Having looked at him when he's played, he's looked excellent. The best form of defence for me is attack, because you put the ball in their half, you get the ball in their half, and you cause them problems. Yeah, and you got a bit of pace so you can get back and retrieve. You're not having to sit back and defend. But again, it is what it is. We don't see what's going on behind closed doors, and we don't see what's going on in training. But I think that, not going to keep going on about Hall, but I think Hall did enough in the last game that Eddie should now take a gamble. Yes, maybe he's not defensively as good, but do you know why he's not defensively good? Because he's not a fucking centre back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a left back. He's a left back. He's a wing back. But he's going to give us that going forward. Ian,
you just touched on there. We need to get players in for the now, not for the potential. We got for the potential at the club. We need someone's going to come in right now. We need a centre back. We need a right side mid. We need another striker. Probably 2 strikers at this rate. I'm not going to lie. We definitely need a left back as well, a CDM. And we need them, mate. We need them. We need a fresh faces in the team in the summer.
And I think we will get that. If we don't back Eddie and spend, remember we've got the seller money coming in, we've got Adidas money coming in, we've got all the other little bits and bobs that we don't even know about behind the scenes, the little ones that don't get reported coming in, and I'm sure there must be a lot of them. They must be worth 200 million plus of players. If we do not back Eddie in this window, then for me it means that they don't back Eddie.
I think it could be sacked. It could be sacked.
Yeah, and that would be, to me, that'd be shocking. Massive injustice. I know other people Eddie out and all that. For me, it's not that. if Eddie Howe would have been backed in January, and if Eddie Howe would have got a striker that he wanted and a midfielder that he wanted in the summer, we wouldn't have had half of these problems we've got. These problems have been caused because our transfer policy has been shit.
Mm.
We haven't backed him. You know, whether that's all right, it might be enforced. We might not be able to spend the money. Fair enough. But you can only polish the shit so much. You know what I mean? And it's still going to be fucking brown and sticky. You know what I mean? It's like
Absolutely.
It's unfair when you think the majority of the season we've been missing 11 first team players. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you go back to the summer transfer window and the failure to bring another striker in is criminal because Wilson's out for the season. The guy can't stay fit for more than 2 games at the moment. And I actually predicted this when he came back. I said, I wonder if he'll stay fit for 2 games and he'll be injured again. And what happened? He got injured against Forest. A game
I've never known a footballer be out for 12 weeks with a sore tit.
Crazy, man. Absolutely. I love Callum Wilson, guys. I love Callum Wilson. Couldn't make it up. I love Callum Wilson. Yeah, don't get us wrong. But this is why we do the centre forward. I mean, Callum's done a great serve for Newcastle, but I think it's time for him to move. Go out and get Ivan Toney. Go out there and just pay the money for Ivan Toney. Get him back up here. I'll tell you what, he's still a fantastic striker. Do you know what I mean? Get him in.
I don't like Toney. I think he's a dick. But
you might think he is. You might think he is, though, Ian, but I think just concentrate on for goals and that. Do you know what I mean? He's unfinished business, like, you know. You never know.
I don't think he'd come back, John.
You don't think he will?
Look, when he scores against us, how much he loves it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think he'd come back. I think he's been here and he's like, no, I don't want to go back there. I know it's totally different now, you know, but I can't see him come back. I mean, look, there was players there in the summer we could have gone for, you know, like Marcus Leonardo. You could have got him from Brazil, a young 21-year-old striker who's gone to Benfica for 18 million quid and is already putting goals in the back of the net for Benfica, you know.
Left, right,
like,
centre.
Like Alan Varela, as I was mentioned to you last night, John.
You did.
Apparently he was offered, and apparently Eddie Howe didn't want him, but he plays as a defensive midfield and a centre midfielder. He's 22 years of age, and he's gone to Porto for £6.9 million, and his pass rate every game is 90% accurate, you know, and he's got 2 goals and 3 assists from centre midfield. Ideal player.
That's what we need, and he can shoot as well. He can shoot.
Yeah.
And that's another thing you don't see Newcastle players shooting. That's what we don't see. Why are they not shooting anymore? I said he told them not to shoot now. I want to see goals in 25, 30 yards.
Confidence. They don't pull the trigger.
Could be.
There's plenty of gems there in South America, John. I mean, look.
There is.
You look at Joe Gomez at Wolves. He's one hell of a player. Danny Lord Forest, he's another good young player.
Yeah, I agree.
We should be out there, We should be out there grabbing these players. Not letting them go to their clubs.
Exactly. Not only that, you've got to get in early before pre-season. Don't dilly-dally, yeah? Get your targets in now, right? Who you're going to get and get them in early. Don't dilly-dally. That's why you lost out for Vela. That's why you lost out on Marcus Leonardo. Do you know what I mean? Cordy, get that guy in. Get Cordy in a CDM. He'll make a difference. But then again, we got waiting Tonali, Joe, and Bruno. We don't know if Joe's going to be here next season.
Yeah, because that's there's still no thing that's sorted out yet. But what they're saying is with his contract is apparently Joe Linton wants a clause added in there, a release clause.
Oh, are we going to be in this sort of clubs that are going to ask for a release clause and that? Are we not good enough? Are we not ambitious anymore? I'm not being funny, right? But let's be real, right? If someone told me to say, it's time for you, but I want a release clause in there, you're going to have to think twice. Bruno's a special case, yeah? But if you're going to ask for a release clause in there, right, it's just like taking the mick.
Yeah.
They don't really want to be at Newcastle, do you know what I mean? It's like a sympathy signing. Ask for a release clause, right? For me, I'm thinking to me, they're not thinking about Newcastle long term. Would you ask for a release clause under Pep? Would you ask for a release clause under Jurgen Klopp? or Inzaghi or Simeone, they tell you where to go.
Yeah,
They tell you where to
absolutely,
go.
Johnny.
And for me, he said you sign a contract, right? You have to release clause, right? Or you just be off to another club. Simple as that. A straight contract, that is it.
Yeah, I don't like these release clauses and contracts, John, if I'm honest,
Hate it.
because
Absolutely
it just
hate it.
means clubs know that if you meet that clause, then they're gone, you know.
It's goodbye.
I mean, Tonali looks like he's enjoying training. He's always full of smiles in training.
All right. Yeah.
Now, I know you're a big fan of AC Milan, John, and
Not my team. Juve is my team.
Juve is it? Juve.
Juve.
But John, anyway, AC Milan. Do you think they knew the Tonali situation when they sold him so cheap to us, or do you think they didn't know about it?
Two sides of the story, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? For me, I mean, I get people saying that they took the money. We don't know till we don't know. I mean, people are saying that Milan knew exactly what's going on. That's why they sold him, right? I think for me, it could be to the money. I think the money was too good for Milan to turn down because the American owners there, right? They wanted the money. I mean, also, I think Tonali didn't want to leave Milan. He did not want to leave AC Milan. But because of the money, and I heard people saying that he must be forced out to come to Newcastle, yeah? And I've seen people when he signed, I've seen fans say he doesn't look happy, he's got a face like glum. Let me just be clear, right? The Italian people don't hardly smile. So don't take it the wrong way. They don't smile a lot, yeah? But at the end of the day, right, he seems to like Newcastle. I think he's happy in Newcastle, yeah? And for me, two sides of the story. For me personally, I think the money was just too good. Milan needed the money, right? And then they got that guy from Alkmaar, Raniaz, who is just as quality. Do you know what I mean? Got him for about 20 million quid, and he looks a fantastic player, Dutch lad. But for me, I think two sides of the story, me. But I think it's down to the money. We tried to get Barella, but in Milan, there's absolutely no way Inter's going to let Barella go. They were never going to let him go. He's an Inter Milan fan, and he loves the club. I can't see Barella leaving Inter. No way. No.
Maybe that was a smokescreen, John, because we've seen this many times where we're linked to a player, and all of a sudden that player doesn't come in, and somebody totally different comes in. So,
exactly.
You go back to Fabrizio Romano. Remember when he said, "Now Pedro, here we go," and then all of a sudden it went quiet, and 2 days later, Isak walks through the door.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what's going to happen at the football club. Nobody knows. Yeah, they don't tell you anything. Yeah.
Can I say one thing about Tonali?
Yeah, go for it.
He might not have wanted to come to Newcastle when he came, and he might, which I think evidently he didn't. But he
Thanks, Foxy.
Just done us there. He might not have wanted to come to Newcastle originally, but the way we backed him, and the loyalty we've shown to him, and the way, it seems when you see him on the training videos and the way that he's been, like, he's in the family now, I think we're going to have a proper player. And I think he knows, his beloved club, who he loved so much, fucked him right up the arse and went, "See ya, now to do with you." When we backed him.
Yeah.
And the reality is, he now owes us big time for me. And I think he's a good lad. I think he's made mistakes. He's made a major mistake with what he's, with the gambling and all that. But I think he knows that we have looked after him and have done everything he can. And he's going to come next year, and I think he's going to be a sensation, actually. I really do.
Ian, just like a new signing, mate. Just like a new signing.
He's going to be, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he is a new signing. See how fucking hard we played. I think he played that first game he played where he came on, he scored within like 6 minutes or whatever it was, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
I think that was how he plays. Not necessarily scoring goals, but that was like against who was it? Fucking
Villa.
Aston Villa.
Villa.
Yeah, that was in Gallagher for that game. That was bloody brilliant. That was my birthday as well, 12th of August. That was the best birthday present I've ever had. Since then, I think after that game, he knew. I don't think he knew anything. I think he came in that game and he was okay. I think after, and this is me just guessing and making it up, but he seemed like a different player after that game. And I think at that point, he then found out, oh, I'm in the shit here. I don't think
And
he
then
knew
when we
before
got to that, sorry, Ian, when we got that first international break,
Yeah.
then we heard he was sent home from the Italian camp. And then it all started coming out. And because Fagioli was the one who went and grassed him, wasn't it? Him and Zaniolo.
Well, yeah, what's happened to him?
Yeah, nothing.
Fagioli is banned to the end of the season.
Yeah, he got 5 months suspended off it
The other
because of
fucker, though.
coming out and telling the truth.
Yeah.
The other one.
Zaniolo, still
John
playing.
got away with it.
Yeah,
he did.
he's had nothing.
I don't get that. I don't get it.
He don't play for Newcastle, does he?
I don't know how he got. Oh, John's disappeared for a minute. He's froze, I think.
John's been bad.
But no, Zaniolo's had nothing done to him. Like the other day against West Ham, I watched that game because obviously it wasn't on live TV. But I watched that game the other day, and you know, West Ham player got booked for throwing the ball away for wasting time. Zaniolo does it and doesn't even get a yellow card, and I'm like, why is he so protected?
He must. I don't know. I just think this season's been a clusterfuck, if you want to put it that way. You know, yeah. I've never ever seen a team, not just Newcastle, any team, get so badly decimated with injuries, and we're still fighting for a European place. And I think we all just need to take a step back and think, fucking hell. And I know everyone's going to go, well, it's not previous seasons, and we've got Bruno, and we've got Isak, and we've got this. Other teams are fighting against relegation when they get this level of injuries. You know, we've been shit, and we're still there and thereabouts. You know what I mean? Like, at times we've been brilliant. But we're hit and miss. You don't know what you're getting 1 week to the next. You know, like I've been home and away all this season, you know, pretty much. And I've seen some brilliant performances, but I've seen some absolute dire performances.
Yeah.
You know, but the reality is we've just got to look at it and think, you know, we've been done by injuries. The players like Longstaff who are playing with injuries, obviously. Yeah, exactly.
He's bang on, Billy, isn't he?
Yeah. Wilson out with a sore tit. J7 out with a sore arse. You couldn't, no.
You couldn't make it up, could you?
No, I've never heard anything like it, but
he's back now. He's unfroze.
I know.
I think the reality is, if we can get anything out of this season, and if we can sneak into a European place, that's a massive, massive win for us, you know?
Yeah. Tristan Hall says, how much money do people think we have? Remember, we are transfers spread over 5 years. About 70 million will be from last season's buys. I mean, nobody knows. That's the thing. All these media outlets keep reporting. Like Mark Douglas put one out the other day saying, "Oh, Newcastle won't have much to spend this summer because of PSR and all this." And it's like, how do they actually know? Because no club reveals their budgets. No manager reveals how much transfer budget they got. You know, even the manager of Wrexham probably wouldn't even say on a press conference, "Oh, we've got X amount to spend." You know, so it doesn't matter which football club you're at. Nobody ever reveals their budgets.
This is the problem, Tony, right?
They're just guessing.
Just guessing. Guess what? They're talking a lot of shite. All these media, ITKs in the know, right? Thinking we ain't got much to spend, right? You just mentioned Isak. Who saw that signing coming? Who saw that coming? That signing? I didn't see that signing coming. It came on a day, just like that. It's all
Yeah.
guesswork. Yeah, let's be real, right? Nobody knows what's going on. The club knows. We don't know.
Yeah. No.
The press don't know. Sweet FA. Let the club do the business.
Exactly. I mean, Lee's hit the nail on the head there. Garassi would have been great for us when he was only 15 million quid.
Yeah.
True.
Absolutely. That clause ran out now, but yeah, we should. You know, I'm surprised nobody snapped him up. To be fair,
I think Dan Ashworth, sorry, was a massive failure. I think he came in, he put a structure in the background, but I don't think he was big enough for us. We need to get somebody in who's going to go out there and get the big signings. You know, the one he did was Tonali, which he got given, obviously, as we now know. You know,
yeah,
and apart from that, he done the square root of fuck all for me.
yeah. Dan Ashworth, as far as I'm concerned, you can see on Gordon. Even if Man United don't want to pay the money for him, then sod them. He can just sit there and do his own garden. He can go over to Saudi and go and do Yasser's garden for him as well while he's at it. But at least he'll have plenty use of his lawnmower, that's for sure. And look, we'll move on to bigger and better than Dan Ashworth. If he doesn't think we're good enough, then stuff him, basically.
Well, no one ain't bigger than a club. We thrive and strive. And Mr. Ashworth, he can do what he wants. It could be a gardener. A new career move, be a gardener.
I agree. I'd just leave him to rot.
Yeah, I would as well, Ian. Definitely. Daniela says Bourne would now cost 100 million plus.
I agree.
Because Billy says we could have had him, but Ashley didn't buy him because he realised Hull wanted money. I mean, look, let's look at the former manager. I mean, Amanda come out and there he is on screen. There we go. There he is. Yeah, Amanda come out and said about Steve Bruce, and then she got ridiculed in the media over it. So then she came out and made an apology. Now then, Steve Bruce has now gone on TalkSport or TalkShite, whichever way you want to put it. And he's now turned around and he said, Mike Ashley tried everything for the club and had the club in a good place, according to Bruce. But also Bruce said, you know, he's the victim of this ownership now. He is the victim, apparently. Now, what do you make of that?
The guy's an absolute BS. That guy, seriously, he's come on TalkSport, right? Telling all, right? And trying to tell what we already know. Yeah? Steve Bruce is an utter failure. I wanted them out, Tony, before he even came in.
I didn't even want him at Newcastle. This is what he said about the former owner. He says, we talk about FFP. The club would never be in any distress under Mike Ashley. It was a great run club under Mike. And I know I'm going to get slaughtered for that. The big thing is, we never had a lot of money to spend. We would spend exactly what the club was generating. But that was never going to be enough to be successful, says Steve Bruce. Yeah, because Mike Ashley never brought anything into the club because the sponsorship was all free.
Correct. He paid £1 million to have his fucking shit logo plastered all over the place. He never got any other sponsorship in. You know, the shirt sponsorship was £5 million. We got 8 million for a sleeve sponsor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bloke, he took the piss out of the club. And the thing is, though, like, let's be honest. We all know that Cabbage Head is you know, he's he's missing a few. He looks like he's had a frontal lobotomy. You know, like the bloke's a fucking idiot. He was a shit manager, and he never turned in for work. Not allegedly. He came to work twice a week. You know, and then for games. You know, he's become a millionaire from being a shit manager. Excuse me. He's been sacked from everywhere he's ever been. He's about as much use as a fucking chocolate teapot. He's a fucking idiot. And the only people that give him any airtime now are his friends in the press, right? Because he used to play for Manchester United. The idiots that talk shite, you know, they're an embarrassment. You know, considering it's one of the biggest sports radio broadcasters in the world, never mind this country, in the world, you know, they're an embarrassment. They, you know, the standard of people that they have on their channel now. Excuse me, sorry. Standard people they have on their channel has massively gone down from what it was 10 years ago. You know, they used to have they used to have people who were intelligent on there and who told the truth. Now they just got fucking idiots who just clickbait idiots. That's all they're interested in. They've got these fucking no marks in who can't string a sentence together. You know, they wouldn't know the truth if it fucking kicked them in the bollocks, you know? And so anything that he says on their platform or anything that they say is completely irrelevant. You know, they know nothing about Newcastle and nothing about the northeast of England. You know, and just keep doing what they're doing. In 3 or 4 seasons' time, all this shit that we're going through now is going to be irrelevant because we're doing things properly, and we're going to do things properly and push them as much as we can.
Jesus, Andrew. Yeah, I mean, Alan says, nobody knows what we can spend this summer. I mean, Alan come out with an interesting point there as well. He says, just what you said about like release clauses and problems being able to spend money in new rules. He said, I wonder if the Saudis will get fed up and move on. They won't move on, Alan. They won't, because they've said it's a plan. It's a 10-year plan they've got. Yes, the FFP is a pain in the backside. We know that. You know, Forest have been deducted 4 points. That they're wondering whether they're going to appeal it or not, because they've got till next Friday to put an appeal in. What Forest are saying is they feel hard done by because the 34 million that they were over, they would have had that money when they sold Brennan Johnson, but Brennan Johnson was sold 3 weeks after the end of that period. So that's why they've been pulled over. But they've actually lost 2, but they've had 2 points taken away from that 6-point deduction because they were actually truthful and upfront with everything. So that's why they only got a 4-point deduction. Now, I would say if you're the owner of Forest, you would say, do you know what? Don't bother, because you're only 1 point off the safe getting out of the relegation zone. You know, and there's talk now that Everton could be hit with another 6-point deduction, which will then throw Everton in the relegation zone on 19 points. So, you know, I know this PSR thing, it's a pain in the backside, Alan. I can see what you're saying about that, but I don't think the Saudis will move on. They will make sure we get the money in. They are looking at getting the training ground sponsor in. They're looking at training kit sponsor. They're looking at a pre-match kit sponsor as well. It's all money coming into the club. I know the sponsorship rules, I think, is a bit unfair, and I think it's a bit stupid if you ask me. But that's all because Leicester and then everybody else panicked when we started taking them Sports Direct signs down. What were you going to say, John? Sorry?
I was going to say as well about the money coming in at the club, right? I mean, it seems to me now we could have got a massive sponsorship, yeah, but the Premier League's going to check on that as well. They're going to check on everything at Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? So that tells me they don't want us competing with the big six. They do not want us competing. That's the thing. It's anti-competition. Tony, we got a Super League. I think we've already got a Super League. The top six.
Yeah.
They don't want the 14 getting in their way. They do not want another Leicester City winning a title, right? They don't want that ever again. They want the big six winning it and kick us to touch. That's what they want. I think we know it's corrupt. We know as well that it's anti-competition. The Premier League, the best league in the world, the most competitive league in the world. Really? So Aston Villa, West Ham are trying to spend money. Even Brighton trying to spend money. Yeah, we can't spend money. The Premier League has controlled us, and that's where this regulator things coming in, right, from the government. Simon Jordan was furious today. I don't know if you listen to TalkSport there. He was furious today. I mean, what's the point in having it? What is the point of having it? Because at the end of the day, right, they're tightening their grip on the big six, and we are nowhere to be seen. They want us to sell best players to the top six as a feeding club.
Yeah.
Oh man, it just winds us up now. It winds us up. We want to do the best we can. The owners have intention of spending that money. We're never going to be in debt. We're never ever going to be in debt. It's no way, right? Yet we're being told we can't spend the money. They want us to sell our best player like Bruno G or Bruno Guimaraes, Alex Isak, right? Those two players at a minute. That's what they want.
Yeah.
You know what? This FFP thing, fair enough, but the PSR, that is doomed to failure. Just scrap it all together. Let the clubs spend what they want, right? Within reason. And that's it, because we are never going to be in debt. We are never going to have financial constraints. Not for these owners. Never. And I think the Premier League are doing this because of us.
Yeah. As I said to you last night, John, there is a Belgian club. I don't know which club it is, but there is a club from Belgium that's challenging FFP.
Good for them.
I think they're taking UEFA to court over it because they want to get it scrapped. Because to me, the way I look at the FFP, I think it's doing more harm than good to clubs. Because when clubs come up from the Championship, like Nottingham Forest, they had a lot of loan players and had players out of contract. Like a keeper went back to France, Samba, and so they had to basically buy a new team in the Premier League to compete. These teams coming from the Championship are staying to compete in the Premier League, but now they're going to be frightened to spend too much in case they go over and end up with points deductions, and it could end up in a relegation. So I think it's doing more harm than it's doing good, and it's not competitive at all. And if this Belgian club's successful, then FFP could be thrown out altogether. That'll be the second thing from Belgium, because if you remember the ex-player John Bosman, he took them to court saying it was against his human rights that he couldn't move free on freedom of contract when his contract expired, and he won that ruling. So hopefully this Belgian club go ahead and win the FFP rule, because if they do, it will be knocked out. I know why they don't want the FFP chucked out, because they said us and City would be miles ahead of everybody else in the Premier League, and yes, we probably would be.
That's how it is, Tony. That's how it is. I mean, look at Blackburn. They set the ball rolling. I mean, Jack Walker spent a lot of money to get out the Championship. Yeah, they bought the title. Yeah, Man City's done the same. They don't want Newcastle doing it neither. They just don't want to.
Chelsea did the same.
Yeah, Chelsea done the same. Yeah,
Man United have done the same for years. Everyone
what's it taking until now to come up with this? Why is it taking until now to come up with this? Why? Exactly. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, they must have planned this. They must have planned this, because all the other clubs in the Premier League can say, look, make sure they don't spend too much money. Do something, because they're going to blow us out of the water. Yeah, simple as that. But
they're shitting the pants. The Premier League are shitting the pants because they know that the rules they've got in place are anti-competitive and they're against European law. I know we're not in Europe now, but it'll go to the court of arbitration It's anti-competitive. So in what world can you buy a business and you're not allowed to invest in it?
Exactly. They just tell you where to go.
It's absolute fucking bollocks. But the funniest thing about it is now that the teams that they have put these rules in place to protect, such as your Man Uniteds and your Liverpools, yeah, and your Chelseas, they're all falling foul of it as well because they've overspent badly, and their ships aren't in order. So when it comes down, you know, you have to have 16 teams or whatever it is to pass, to pass a ruling. Well, let's have a vote on it now.
The thing is,
Chelsea won't be voting for it. I very much doubt Man United would, and Liverpool.
Yeah.
And also, let's bring into this debt. The £2 billion worth of debt that fucking Tottenham have, are in. Yeah. And by the way, where's the £3 billion from the Chelsea sale that was meant to be going into the coffers? That's got fucking swept under the carpet, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the whole thing. They are shitting the pants.
Yeah.
I think Notts Forest might be, funnily enough, big club, by the way. So I'm not saying little Notts Forest. I'm just saying what the fucking muppet in charge of the Premier League class.
Oh, yeah.
It's your masters.
The smaller teams like Notts Forest. Fucking what? You know what I mean?
Forest were serial cup winners in Europe. I mean, they won the Europe. Yeah. They won the champion. Yeah. Well, it's what is a Champions League now twice. They won the European Cup, didn't they? Well, that was the European Cup at the time. They've won the Cup Winners' Cup, I think, as well, haven't they? So, and they've won FA
these
Cups
little teams. So they're getting screwed. They're getting bent over. Well, they've just got that fucking what's he called? The lawyer, who's the sports lawyer. He's making a mint out of this, by the way. I can't remember his name now. Somebody in the chat will know. But they've just got him in to come in and represent them. And they're already saying this is anti-competitive. It's against business. Nick DeMarco, well done. Thanks, Julie.
DeMarco, yeah.
DeMarco.
He will literally bend them fucking idiots over because these are a load of fucking wankshafts. They haven't got a fucking clue what they're doing. They've got about as much knowledge of legal shit that I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even I can look at it and say, right, you buy a business, right? And you want to build a business. You've got all the money in the world. You're not allowed to spend it. Why are you not allowed to spend it? It's completely like it just goes against everything. It's against business law, and when it comes down to it, football is a business. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. And a little team like Notts Forest could flip them over, and it's sad to say, but it could be the end of the Premier League if they don't wind the necks in and change, and actually, make it a level playing field. If you've got the money, you can spend the money. Then let's all see what happens.
Yeah. Foxy's saying it's Antwerp that's taking them to court over FFP.
Good for them. Good.
You got to go, John?
I have been. I've got to be up at 6 a.m. I thought, come on, support you as well, man, for a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm here, so
come and see your pals since you've been fucking avoiding us, John.
Not me. We've always been mates, Ian.
We've been missing you, man.
Oh, we do.
It's been great having you on, John. Absolutely, mate.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, Tony, because it's great to be back. The chat's been great. Ian's been great. You've been great. And chats, thank you so much for having us on again. It's great to see you back. You're going to get seeing a lot more of us, mate.
Yes.
I'll be here. Don't worry about that.
Give your channel a shout out while you're on, John, before you go on your socials, mate.
No problem. Thank you so much for having us on, Tony, anyway, and Ian. And find us just there, John Sinclair TV on Insta. You can find us on Facebook, on X, and you can also find us on YouTube. and I do the previews, reviews, and do also a podcast, which I think you should do every Monday, and just a football chat as well. Anything about Newcastle transfers as well. So yeah, just guys, check us out. Do hit that subscribe button, please, guys, and I really appreciate if you did that. Follow Tony as well, and follow Ian on his
Nowhere.
Nowhere. So
follow me from channel to channel on here.
And a special mention for Billy as well. Billy, thank you so much for your support, man. And we do chat on DM as well, and all as well, of course.
Yeah.
Good on. Look at Billy's comment. See Billy's comment. Good old John. At last. He said, "Good old John. For at last."
Hey! He's not bloody Nelson Mandela. Right, nice one. Lads. I'm absolutely knackered. Thanks for having us on, Tony.
Tony.
No problem, guys. No problem. Cheers, lads.
Cheers, lads. You take care. See you in a week. Take care.
Thank you. See you later. Oh, great having John back on. Yeah, fantastic, and thanks to Ian being on as well. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up in a moment or two anyway. But yeah, look, FFP's killing us, and we know that is. But at the end of the day, we've just got to hope it will get better. It will get better. It's just going to take time, you know. People keep saying, well, didn't the owners do due diligence at the club? Yes, I'm sure they did. But they probably knew the mess it was in under the former owner, and there's a lot of tidying up to do. But we will get there. We will get there. Absolutely get there. One day we will definitely get there. So don't worry about that. Julie's right. Richard Masters is a clown. He is, absolutely, Julie. What is sustainable for football when Chelsea inflate the transfer market fee, spending irresponsibly? Exactly, Tangi. Going out and buying players like 120 million, 115 million for Caicedo. Absolutely. My opinion, the other 14 clubs should go on straight, refuse to take part until it's sorted. Absolutely, it is. They would shit themselves, Andrew. There's no Belgium team challenging FFP. They are challenging Lommel, getting a license to play in the Belgium First Division due to where they get their income from. Oh, okay. I heard it was to do with the FFP, but okay, fair enough. I don't think it was Antwerp. I think Mighty Win made that up. Antwerp challenging a couple of things, including the homegrown rule. Okay, interesting. Don't milk it, mate. Good old John, yeah, absolutely. Good old John. Andrew says, good game. Didn't he do well? It's been a great show tonight, Tony. Thank you. Great show, Tony. And great to see John on as well. Absolutely. And John will be back on again. Yeah, so guys and girls, it's been a fantastic show. We've had a great time. And we're going to start wrapping up. But if you have liked what you see, please do smash that like. If you haven't done so already, then please follow Sean the Sheep and smash those thumbs up for me. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe, be part of this great community we got here. Also, hit that bell notification to keep you up to date with future shows, pre-records, or live shows as well. So, yeah, so we've had a good talk tonight, and we've had a good, it's been a great night, and, you know, hopefully putting this show on, I've reached out to more people, maybe down under, in the last week. Now, it came as a surprise when I found this out today from YouTube, because when they do the analytics, they give you like a weekly update. And what they said last week was, so the last 7 days, obviously the UK is the most common country for watching my channel, but the second most, the highest ranked country watching my channel was Indonesia last week as well. So Indonesia is really up there with the UK in watching my channel. So I've got a lot of Indonesian viewers as well. So that's absolutely fantastic. But my show does go all over the world. I've seen views in Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Uganda, everywhere. So look, it is reaching out there, and it's absolutely fantastic as well. Good night, everyone. Take it easy, you too, Gary. Absolutely, mate. Bye, Tony. I just remember to like on the way out. No worries. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Julie says, great show. And I just want a special mention to Paul Mann again for coming a member tonight on the channel. Thank you very much indeed, Paul. Much appreciated, my friend. Much appreciated. And yeah, so have a good night, everybody, and have a nice day tomorrow, whatever you're doing. I will be back tomorrow. It's Wednesday tomorrow, so I will be back tomorrow. And I'm going to be back with the Fan Zone tomorrow. So the Fan Zone's going to come back tomorrow. And that'll be where people can come on and have their say. So if you want to come on and have your say, the Fan Zone will be back tomorrow. And I think on Thursday I'll be on Pete Proudlock's channel. And I'm not sure what I'm doing Friday, but Saturday I'm at the Newcastle Women's Cup Final, the League Cup Final at Kenilworth Road at Luton Town. I'll be there Saturday, so I'm going to do vlogs from that game, and I will upload them and put them on so everybody can have a look at the vlog when it's done. If I can get to do a live from there, if the internet's fine, then I'll do a live as well from Luton Town. So make sure you keep up to date for that one as well. Take care. Great show as always. Cheers, Mad Mac. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tanji says, good show as always. Cheers, mate. Thank you for your support, mate. Doing well in this new job. Hopefully you keep me on full time. Excellent, mate. Excellent. Good luck to that, mate. Good luck, Lee. Hopefully, mate. Night all. Good night to you as well. As long as it's a Fan Zone and not Boy Zone. Fan Zone. I call it the Fan Zone because everybody else calls them Fans Forum. So they call it a Fans Forum. I call it a Fan Zone. Just something different. I just want to be different from everybody else because, you know, it's a bit more unique than when it's different. But as I say, once again, don't forget to smash that like on the way out and that subscribe if you're new to the channel. But until then, take care and remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. Until the next time, see you all later. How are you, the lads?